welcome back to the channel. My name is Renee if you're new here, and if you're not, welcome back. I am the owner of Home the Brand, and I sell budgeting tools, supplies, and saving challenges to help you save money and to help you get out of debt, as well as a bunch of other things that make me happy. So I know I've been missing. I haven't filmed a video in quite some time, but just know that I have been working on orders. I have been creating new products, and I've just been working behind the scenes. I haven't been on camera as much because, my health isn't where it needs to be. You guys know I've mentioned this since like January, February. It's still quite the same. So I haven't been filming as much, but I have been working, as you guys can see. So today I decided that I was just going to film a late night working on orders, packing orders video, just to give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes into how I make my products and packing orders and things like that. Business has been a little bit slow, and I think it's due to a lot of new budgeting shops that have been popping up. But hey, there's room for everybody, and I truly believe there's enough money in this world for everybody. So I am actually working on, like I said, a couple of orders. Here you guys see that I had just redesigned the cover for my 52-week savings challenge. I have actually redesigned the covers to a lot of my challenges. I like this like bold cover or bold font for the cover. So if you guys are interested in any of my challenges, you can check them out on my website, and my website is always linked in the description box. As you guys can see, I do everything when it comes to my business. I print out all my challenges, I laminate all of them, and I cut them out one by one. It is a lot of work, but this is the type of work that actually makes me happy and does not feel like work to me. I don't think I've shown you guys, well, I know I haven't shown you because I haven't filmed in about a month, but these are the new dashboards that I have. They're minimal but bold font, and I think they just look so gorgeous. You have the option of changing the color. This was just the color that I chose for my own dashboard and was the pictures that I took for the actual listing. So this customer wanted the exact same color. This is the new monthly savings challenge that I redesigned. Like I showed you guys, everything has been redesigned to have that bold font, and I absolutely love it. This customer wanted it in matte vellum. When you guys do purchase my challenges, especially if you're purchasing matte vellum, I need you guys to have a look at the disclaimer. There's a picture that shows a disclaimer. Matte vellum does not hold up too well in extreme heat, so I need you guys to keep that in mind when you purchase anything in matte vellum. It is summertime, so it gets quite hot, so keep that in mind. But I love the way that this came out. Y'all, I wanted to give you guys a quick little look into the new budget planner inserts that I did release. As we speak, they are currently available on the shop. Besides a monthly dashboard, it is completely undated. I'm just showing you guys how it looks in the A5 acrylic binder. I like to put mine in the acrylic binder, but it does come size to fit in a regular A5 binder. If you do want to purchase the planner to fit in an A5 acrylic binder, please send me a message, because to fit in the A5 acrylic binder is just a little bit smaller in terms of width. You will get the planner printed on both front and back, or you have the option of downloading the digital download so that you can print them at home or use them on your iPad with GoodNotes. What I want you to keep in mind though is that it does come with the crop mark so that you can cut it down to A5 size. So keep that in mind if you'll be using it with GoodNotes. This exact planner helps me budget out my paychecks as well as my monthly bills and expenses. I usually do plan digitally on my iPad, but in my opinion, there's nothing like paper and pen. So I am making the transition back to using paper and pen. Cutting out everything after laminating is what takes up most of the time, and it takes a lot of patience, especially if I'm working with large stacks of challenges and things that need to be laminated and cut out. But like I said, it doesn't really feel like work to me because it's something that I enjoy doing. So I just, put something on while I'm cutting out everything, and either it's some music or I watch a show or a movie or something and just vibe out while I'm cutting. Now it's time to hole punch everything. You guys, I'm so particular, and so I try to be so precise when it comes to hole punching, because those little slider things can determine where the rings are placed and they can easily move. So I usually spend so much time just making sure it's all lined up perfectly, it's centered, and nothing is off. I've had so many times where I've not realized that the rings have shifted and it's messed up so much products, and I would just get so upset. But now I make sure I take the time to make sure it is where it needs to be so I don't mess up any of the products. But I do love hole punching everything. I usually film a lot of like ASMR of hole punching products, but I decided not to do it this time because of course I am filming this video. Now it's time to round the corners of everything using my little corner rounder that I got from Amazon. I just feel like it looks so much better when you round the corners. Usually I had left them all straight and sharp, but I found that with the laminate, it was too sharp sometimes. So to avoid anybody hurting themselves, especially me, I decided to round the corners of everything. As you guys can see in the matte vellum challenges, that when I cut them out, the edges look like they're kind of separating. What I want you guys to focus on is, don't worry, I do take care of that. After I round the corners, all of these products go through the laminator at least 3 or 4 more times, just to make sure everything is sealed properly. time to work on some envelopes. These are the PVC zipperless envelopes. And you guys, when it comes to working on envelopes, you're going to see here that it takes me so long. Like I said, I'm a perfectionist. So I like to make sure everything is perfectly centered. Everything lines up perfectly. I make sure that I line up each envelope with the one that I previously done, just to make sure that it is placed in the center and everything lines up perfectly. I'm only human, so I'm only going to get it as close as possible, but it doesn't hurt to try. Alright you guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. These are some of the products that I did pack up tonight. If you watch all the way to the end, leave me a pink heart, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!